You've got to stop settling for less than you deserve. Look, let's be real, mediocrity has become the default for too many people. If we get comfortable with where we are and we start accepting things that don't serve us, jobs that drain our energy, relationships that don't fulfill us, habits that hold us back. But here's the truth, your life will never exceed the standards you set for yourself. If you're accepting average, you'll get average. If you're accepting stress, you'll get more stress. It's a cycle that won't change unless you decide to break it. Think about it for a second. Where in your life have you been tolerating mediocrity? Is it in your health? Is it in your career? Is it in your personal growth? You have to look at those areas and ask yourself, what am I allowing right now that I know is beneath what I'm capable of? The moment you make the decision to raise your standards, everything shifts. Suddenly, you're no longer willing to stay in a job that doesn't align with your passion. You're no longer okay with friendships that bring you down. You decide that from now on, you're going to expect more from yourself and from the people around you. And here's the kicker: when you raise your standards, the universe responds. It's almost like you send out a signal that says, I deserve better. And life starts to bring you better opportunities, better relationships, better experiences. But raising your standards isn't just about thinking positive or wanting more. It's about holding yourself accountable to those standards every single day. It's about saying, I will no longer settle for this, and then taking the actions that align with that decision. That's where true transformation happens. You see, raising your standards is about shifting your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who's just getting by, and you start seeing yourself as someone who's thriving, who's capable of greatness. When you change your identity, you change your behavior. And when you change your behavior, you change your life. This is where the magic happens. Your life is a reflection of what you tolerate. So if you want a new reality, stop tolerating the old one. Make a decision right now: no more settling, no more settling. No more excuses. Now raise your standards and watch your results rise with them. People who are merely interested in change do what's convenient. They'll dabble, they'll dip their toe in the water, but the moment things get tough, they back out. They have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, always looking for an exit, always giving themselves a way out. If it gets uncomfortable, it's not commitment. It's just interest. And interest is never going to get you the life you truly want. Interest will never push you to greatness. Let me tell you something powerful. When you're committed, you don't look for convenience, you look for results. There's a massive difference between saying, I'll try, and saying, I'll do whatever it takes. When you make that shift from trying to do and everything changes, you stop negotiating with your goals, you stop making excuses for why it can't happen, and you start focusing on how it will happen. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who achieved something extraordinary by just trying? No, people who succeed are the ones who go all in. They make a decision and they burn the boats behind them, so there's no turning back. It's that level of certainty, that level of resolve that pushes them through obstacles, through challenges, through pain. They're committed and they know there's no other option but success. That's what commitment looks like. You've got to cut off all other possibilities. If you leave yourself an escape route, trust me, you'll take it the second things get tough. That's human nature. We're wired to avoid pain, to seek comfort. But if you want to create a life that's beyond what most people ever experience, you've got to be willing to endure the discomfort, the uncertainty, and the hard work. You've got to say, I'm in this for the long haul no matter what. This isn't about motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Commitment, on the other hand, is permanent. It's that unwavering decision that you've already made in your mind, and no amount of fear or failure is going to change it. It's when you say, I don't care how hard it gets, I don't care how many times I fall, I'm not giving up until I reach my goal. Commitment is power. It's the difference between someone who gives up at the first sign of adversity and someone who pushes through the pain because they know their outcome is inevitable. The committed person says, this will happen, then I'll find a way no matter what. When you get to that level of certainty, when you stop playing around with your dreams and start living like they're non-negotiable, that's when life opens up for you. So if you want to make lasting change, stop just trying. Decide that you're all in. Commit and don't give yourself a way out. Burn the boats and make success your only option. Because when you're committed, there's no force on earth that can stop you. Your mind will always find a way to talk you out of making big decisions. That's just how it works. Your brain is a survival mechanism designed to protect you, to keep you safe, to avoid risk and pain. But here's the problem. If you always listen to your head, you'll never make the bold decisions that create real breakthroughs in your life. Your mind is wired for safety, not growth. It's going to flood you with doubts, fears, and overthinking. Because that's its job, to keep you in the comfort zone. But guess what? Nothing extraordinary happens in the comfort zone. How many times have you had a big idea, a dream, or a goal, and as soon as you start thinking about it, your brain kicks in with a million reasons why it won't work? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will people think? That's your mind playing defense, trying to protect you from disappointment, from rejection. But the cost of listening to those thoughts is massive. If you let your mind control you, you'll stay stuck where you are, and years will pass without making the moves that could change your life. So what do? You've got to get out of your head and into your heart. Your heart doesn't know fear. Your heart doesn't know fear. Your heart is where your passion, your drive, and your purpose live. It's where your instincts are. When you get out of your head and drop into your heart, you tap into a different kind of intelligence, one that's bold, one that's certain, one that says, I've got this, no matter what, that's where your true power lies. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Tony, how do I trust my instincts when my head is screaming at me with doubts? Here's the thing, your instincts are always right. Because they come from a place of truth, not fear. When you feel something deep down, when your gut tells you that this is the path to take, that's the voice you need to listen to. Your mind will always analyze and calculate the risks, but your heart knows what's right for you. And you've got to learn to trust it, even when it doesn't make logical sense. The key is to take action before your mind has a chance to talk you out of it. Action kills fear. When you move forward, despite the doubts in your head, you break the cycle of overthinking. It's in the doing that the fear fades, because now you're building momentum. And the more you trust your instincts and take action, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Look, every great decision you've made in your life wasn't because you overanalyzed it. It was because something inside you said this is the right move, you felt it. And you acted on it. That's the power of getting out of your head. Stop waiting for everything to make perfect sense before you act. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to have all the answers. But when you trust your gut and step into uncertainty with courage, that's where the magic happens. That's where growth lives. So stop letting your mind control the narrative. Get out of your head, drop into your heart, and take action from that place of passion, certainty, and trust. Because when you do, you'll realize that the life you've been dreaming of is just on the other side of that fear. It's time to stop thinking and start doing. Your heart already knows the way. Trust it and take action. Stop obsessing over the things you can't control and start focusing on what you can control. Let's face it, life throws curveballs. Things are going to happen that you didn't plan for, didn't expect, and sometimes they're going to knock you off course. But here's the truth, you don't control the events in your life, but you always control how you respond to those events. And that's where your power lies. Most people spend their energy worrying about things they have zero control over. The economy, other people's opinions, the past, none of these things are in your hands. But what is in your hands is your attitude, your decisions and your attitude, your decisions and your actions. Those are your levers. And when you focus on those, you take back your power. Think about it, how often do we waste time and mental energy stressing about things we can't change? We get stuck in the what if game. What if I lose my job? What if this person doesn't like me? What if the market crashes? That kind of thinking paralyzes you. It keeps you from moving forward. You're handing over control of your life to external forces. But when you shift your focus to what you can control, you shift your entire reality. What can you control? Your attitude. No matter what's happening around you, you have the power to choose how you're going to view it. Are you going to let life's challenges defeat you, or are you going to see them as opportunities for growth? Your attitude is your choice. The most successful people don't have fewer problems, they have a better attitude about those problems. Next is your actions. This is huge. You can't always control the outcome, but you can control what you do about it. You can control the effort you put in, the strategies you try, and how persistent you are. While most people complain about the circumstances, the real achievers are out there taking massive action, regardless of what life throws at them. They don't sit around waiting for everything to be perfect. They get out there, adapt, and adjust as they go. And then there's your decisions. Every day you have the power to decide how you're going to show up in your life. Are you going to be a victim, or are you going to take ownership of your future? Decisions shape your destiny. It's the decisions you make about what to focus on, what to believe, and what actions to take are going to determine the quality of your life. So what are you deciding right now? Are you deciding to give your power away to circumstances, or are you deciding to take control of your responses and make the best of what you have? Let me tell you something, life is unpredictable, but you don't have to be. You can choose to be steady, to be resilient, and to be empowered no matter what's happening around you. That's what separates the people who are constantly at the mercy of external events from those who rise above them. So here's what you need to do. Stop wasting energy on what you can't control and start pouring all your focus into what you can. If you want to transform your life, it starts with mastering your inner world, your attitude, your actions, and your decisions. That's where your real power is. The moment you take ownership of those things, no matter what life throws your way, you'll find a way not just to survive, but to thrive. So remember, it's not what happens to you that determines your future, it's how you respond to what happens. Focus on what you can control and watch how life responds to you. Everything we do in life is driven by two forces: pain and pleasure. These are the two primary drivers that dictate every decision, every action, every move we make. We move away from pain and we move toward pleasure. It's that simple. But here's the thing, most people let pain and pleasure control them instead of using these forces to their advantage. They let fear of pain stop them from taking action. And they settle for short-term pleasure that keeps them stuck in mediocrity. If you want to change your life, you've got to learn how to flip the script. You need to leverage pain and pleasure in a way that empowers you instead of letting it control you unconsciously. And it starts with this: associate massive pain with staying where you are. Right now, if you're not where you want to be in life, it's because you've linked more pain to the idea of change than to the idea of staying the same. Think about it. If the pain of staying where you are felt unbearable, you wouldn't stay there for another second. You'd move, you'd act, you'd change immediately. Let's get real. If you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting the same results. If that's okay with you, fine. But if you want more, if you want to create an extraordinary life, you have to associate so much pain with staying where you are that it's no longer an option. Staying in the same place should feel like torture. You need to feel like, if I don't make a change now, I'm going to suffer, and I'm not willing to live like this anymore. But here's where the real power comes in. You also need to link massive pleasure to the life you could create by making a new decision. You've got to make that vision so compelling, so exciting, so filled with joy and fulfillment that you can't wait to take action. You need to feel like, if I make this change, I'll have the energy, the success, the love, the passion I've always wanted. Make that vision so real in your mind that it pulls you toward it like a magnet. Most people focus on the immediate pain of taking action. They think, if I try to lose weight, it'll be hard. If I start that business, I might fail. If I leave this relationship, I'll feel lonely. Because they're so focused on that short-term pain, they stay stuck. They stay in their comfort zone, even though deep down they know it's not where they want to be. But successful people flip this around. They condition their minds to link pain to staying the same and pleasure to the long-term results of taking action. They see the pain of staying in that job they hate. Yes, they see the pain of not living up to their full potential. They see the pain of being unhealthy and unhappy, and then they feel the overwhelming pleasure of the life they could create, the freedom, the energy, the fulfillment, and that's what drives them to act. This is how you take control of your life. You use pain and pleasure as tools, not as barriers. When you start associating pain with not changing and pleasure with making that new decision, something powerful happens. You don't need to be motivated anymore. You're driven. You'll feel a burning desire to move forward because the pain of staying the same is unbearable and the pleasure of what's waiting for you is irresistible. So ask yourself, what's the price of staying where you are? What's it costing you mentally, emotionally, financially, physically to stay in your current situation? And then flip the switch. What kind of life could you create if you make that change? How would it feel to wake up every day full of energy and passion? To be proud of the person you've become? Leverage pain and pleasure. Make the pain of inaction greater than the fear of change, and make the pleasure of your future so compelling that it pulls you into action. When you do this, you'll unlock a whole new level of drive, commitment, and success in your life. You control the forces of pain and pleasure. Use them to fuel your transformation. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you give it. Think about that for a second. It's not the events that shape your life, it's the meaning you attach to those events that creates your reality. Two people can experience the exact same situation, and one will walk away feeling empowered while the other feels defeated. What's the difference? It's the story they're telling themselves. If you want to change your life, start by changing the story you're telling yourself about what's possible. Too many people are trapped by the meanings they've attached to past events, by the limiting beliefs they've created based on what's happened to them. They say things like, I failed before, so I'll probably fail again, or I wasn't born with the right resources, so I can't succeed, but here's the thing, the past doesn't equal the future. Unless you live there. The only reason the past holds you back is because of the meaning you've given to it. You need to ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about my life? What meaning have I attached to the challenges I've faced? Because the moment you change the meaning, you change the entire experience. What if the struggles you've gone through weren't there to break you, but to make you stronger? What if the setbacks weren't failures, but stepping stones leading you to success? When you shift your perspective, you shift your reality. Let me give you an example. Some people look at rejection and they feel crushed. They tell themselves, I wasn't good enough, or this always happens to me, and that story becomes their identity. They start living as if rejection is part of who they are. But then there are people who face rejection and say, this is just feedback. This is a lesson. This is what I needed to grow. Same event, totally different meaning, and as a result, a totally different outcome. This is the power you have over your life. You get to decide what things mean. You can take any situation and give it a meaning that empowers you, that pushes you forward. The meaning you choose will determine your destiny. If you choose a meaning that says, I'm stuck, I'm limited, I can't win, then you're going to live that reality. But if you choose a meaning that says, I'm capable, I'm resilient, and everything that happens is an opportunity, then you start living from a place of possibility. So what's the meaning you've attached to your biggest challenges? Are you telling yourself that because you faced hardship, you're destined for more of the same? Or are you telling yourself that those hardships have prepared you for something greater? The meaning is up to you. Here's the real shift. Stop seeing problems as roadblocks and start seeing them as fuel. Start seeing every obstacle as a chance to grow, to become more, to prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. When you change the meaning you attach to things, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and you become the creator of your own destiny. You're not stuck. You're not limited. You're just telling yourself a story that's holding you back. Change the story, change the meaning, and you'll change your life. Every experience, every challenge, every setback, it all has the potential to serve you, to elevate you if you choose to give it the right meaning. So what are you going to make this moment mean? What are you going to make your past mean? Remember, nothing has any meaning except the meaning you give it. Choose wisely, because the meaning you choose is the foundation of the life you create. You've heard the saying, before you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But do you really understand the power of that? The people around you are shaping your life, whether you realize it or not. Their attitudes, their beliefs, their energy, their habits, it's all influencing who you become. So If you're serious about transforming your life, you need to get intentional about who you're surrounding yourself with. Look, you can't soar with eagles if you're hanging around with turkeys. If you spend your time with people who complain, who settle for mediocrity, who make excuses, that's going to rub off on you. Their mindset becomes your mindset. Their standards become your standards. And before you know it, you're stuck in the same place, living a life that's far below what you're capable of. But when you surround yourself with growth-oriented people, everything changes. These are the people who push you, who challenge you, who inspire you to raise your game. They don't let you settle for less than your best. They make you uncomfortable in the best possible way because they're constantly showing you what's possible when you level up. When you're around people who are committed to growth, to success, to becoming more, guess what? That energy starts to pull you up. If you want to make life-changing decisions, you've got to be around people who have already done it. People who've been where you are and have risen to a higher level. Find those who have walked the path you want to walk. Whether it's in business, health, relationships, or personal development, you need to be in proximity to people who are playing at a higher level than you are right now. Their mindset, their strategies, their energy will elevate you too. Think about it, if you spend time with people who are constantly pushing themselves, who are setting big goals, who refuse to make excuses, it's almost impossible for you not to step up. You start adopting their habits. You start thinking bigger. You start believing that you too can achieve more. Proximity is power. You want to surround yourself with people who are going to light a fire inside of you, not people who extinguish it. Now, here's the tough part sometimes. That means distancing yourself from people who are holding you back. And I get it, that's not easy. Maybe it's friends, family members, coworkers, but if they're not aligned with where you're going, if they're keeping you small, you've got to make a choice. It's not about cutting people out of your life completely, but it's about being mindful of who you're allowing to influence you the most. Because the truth is, your environment shapes you. If you want to grow, you need to be in an environment that fosters growth. Surround yourself with people who are obsessed with becoming the best version of themselves, people who are hungry for success, for learning, for contribution. When you do that, your standards will rise automatically. You won't need to be motivated because you'll be in a constant state of inspiration and elevation. Here's what I want you to do. Take a hard look at the people you're spending the most time with. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Are they challenging you to be better, or are they keeping you comfortable? Be honest with yourself, because this one decision, who you surround yourself with, can either propel you forward or keep you stuck for years. Find your tribe. Find the people who are on the same journey, who are striving for greatness, who want more out of life, and who won't let you play small. Get around them, learn from them, grow with them. When you do, you'll see that your own potential expands beyond anything you thought was possible. You rise to the level of the people you surround yourself with, so choose wisely and watch how fast your life transforms. You must understand the profound impact your environment has on your success. The truth is, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. Are the people in your life lifting you up, or are they holding you back? If you want to soar to new heights, you need to surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, inspire you, and push you to be your best self. Look for those who are already where you want to be, those who have faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and achieved greatness. Their mindset, energy, and attitude will influence yours. You will start to adopt their beliefs, their habits, and their drive. But beware. If you hang around those who are negative, complacent, or unmotivated, you risk getting sucked into that energy. You can't afford to let anyone drag you down when you're trying to elevate your life. So make a conscious choice today. Seek out growth-oriented people. Join groups, attend workshops, and connect with like-minded individuals. Find mentors who can guide you and peers who will challenge you. When you do this, you're not just changing your network, you're transforming your future. Remember, it's not just about finding the right people, it's about becoming the right person. When you surround yourself with greatness, you'll inevitably rise to meet it. Take action now and start building the environment that will catapult you to success. Know your journey to a higher level begins with the people you choose to be around. Let's go. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's an essential part of the journey. Every setback you experience, every mistake you make is not just a hurdle, it's a stepping stone. It's a chance for growth, for learning, for becoming a better version of yourself. You see, the fear of failure can be paralyzing. It can grip you so tightly that you freeze, you hesitate, and you miss out on incredible opportunities. But here's the truth: if you let that fear dictate your actions, you'll be stuck in the same place, never moving forward. You have to break free from that mindset. Embrace failure. Welcome it as an invaluable teacher. When you fail, you gain insights that success simply can't provide. Each time you stumble, you learn something new about yourself, about your strategies, and about what works and what doesn't. Instead of fearing fail forward. Let each setback be the fuel that ignites your passion, your determination, your resolve to keep going. When you adopt this mindset, failure becomes an ally, not an enemy. It's the very catalyst that propels you toward your goals. Remember, every successful person has faced failure. They felt the sting of disappointment and the weight of setbacks. But they didn't let that define them. They used it to refine their approach, to dig deeper, and to rise stronger. So take risks, challenge yourself. When you fall, get back up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. Every failure is just a chapter in your success story. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it drive you toward the greatness that awaits you. Your journey is not just about the victories, it's about how you respond to the setbacks. Let's go. In the journey toward success, it's vital to celebrate progress, not perfection. Too many people get caught up in the idea that everything must be flawless before they take action. They sit on the sidelines waiting for that elusive moment of perfection. And what happens? They miss out on opportunities, they hesitate, and they let their dreams slip away. But here's the key: progress is what fuels your momentum. It's the small steps you take every day that lead you to your big goals. Every single win, no matter how small, is a reason to celebrate. Each step forward is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. So instead of waiting for the stars to align, start taking action now. Celebrate those small victories. Did you learn something new today? Celebrate it. Did you push through a challenge? Celebrate it. Each time you acknowledge your progress, you build your confidence, your motivation, and your drive to keep going. Just remember, perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. What matters is that you're making progress. It's about learning, adapting, and growing. Embrace the journey with all its twists and turns and keep pushing forward. So let's shift our focus. Don't just strive for perfection, strive for progress. Recognize your achievements, however minor they may seem. Each celebration is a boost to your momentum, a reminder that you're capable of incredible things. Your path to success is paved with progress, and you have the power to create it every single day. Let's go out there and celebrate every step of the way. Let me tell you something about perfection. It's a trap. So many people are paralyzed by the idea that things need to be perfect before they can move forward. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect moment, or the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions. But guess what? That moment may never come. If you're waiting for perfection, you'll be waiting forever. Here's the truth: progress is where the real magic happens. It's those consistent, steady steps forward that create momentum, and momentum is the force that moves you closer to your dreams. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you're building momentum. And when you build momentum, you become unstoppable. You need to celebrate progress because each step forward is proof that you're on the right path. Did you make a little progress today? Celebrate it. Did you face a challenge and keep moving anyway? Celebrate it. These moments, no matter how insignificant they might seem in the grand scheme of things, are crucial to your growth and success. Look at the greatest achievements in life. They weren't built on perfection. They were built on persistence. They were built on a foundation of small, imperfect steps that eventually led to massive success. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about moving forward even when things aren't perfect. Progress means you're evolving, you're learning, and you're getting better each day. This perfection can make you overthink, delay action, and second guess yourself. But when you focus on progress, you're giving yourself permission to take action, make mistakes, and adjust along the way. Remember, it's not the size of the step that matters, it's the fact that you're taking steps at all. So don't wait for everything to be just right. The journey to success is filled with imperfections, but those imperfections are what make it real and meaningful. Celebrate each victory, no matter how small, because those are the building blocks of greatness. And here's the kicker as you celebrate progress. You'll notice that perfection doesn't matter as much as you thought. What matters is that you're moving, you're growing, and you're getting closer to the person you want to be. Keep pushing forward, celebrate each step, and watch as your progress transforms into the success you've been working for. You've got this.